Ben and Eve, I just actually left your house, and I know Eve was sharing a little bit of all of the possibilities and all of the things going on with things you guys are exploring. And Danny and I were talking last night before we had even heard a lot of this, and had felt to just share with you guys, our hearts and from some of our own experience with like the moment that you guys are in and kind of needing to know the next step, not quite sure what to do, and it seeming like it's taking a long time for the answers to make themselves known. And like I said, last night we were just talking and saying, hey, I would love to just let you guys know how we see things and looking on. Maybe like we're not super wealthy or we don't have all the testimony yet for you maybe to take us seriously. I don't know, but I think you know that the journey we've walked has been by faith, and we have seen God do some amazing things as you guys have. And I remember when we were in kind of the same spot between jobs and wondering if we were going to, eye catchers was going to happen, if we were going to get a permanent spot at Disney. And it took a long time. And we felt like God was really speaking, like, just wait and see what I will do. And when you rest, I work. And so we were trying to live like that. But then there was a lot of stress and pressure and to try to fix it. And God spoke to me at that time. And this is one thing I'd like to just say, is he spoke to me and said, do not, if you feel pushed, if you feel pressure to try to do something, don't do anything. Because you will go out with joy and be led forth with peace. And the enemy is the one who will push. And if you do things out of feeling pushed, you'll always end up making the wrong decision. And when I look back at some of the things that I pursued, I realized, like, we just make kind of crazy decisions sometimes based on our feeling of desperation. And one of the things I explored, it's this ridiculous. One of the things I explored was being a surrogate mother, because you could make $10,000 doing that. Obviously, I didn't do it, but it's just kind of crazy. Like, so Danny and I were saying, like, we would just like you to know that we see what you guys is carrying, like with Eden Abbey, has such value. It's not just your idea. It's not just something you were like, hey, this would be fun. Maybe we should do this. I mean, God has placed this in you. And I know I shared this with you before, but don't, like, carry it to full term, because it really matters. And it is for this next season. And you guys are doing great. I think we get to, the trying of our faith works patience, and patience is that thing of knowing that it will be. You're not waiting for, it's not wishful thinking. It's something that is going to happen, and the patience will be perfect, lacking nothing. So you can wait to see all of the pieces come together. I didn't know there were so many pieces. I more just wanted to encourage you to, like, just, stand, having done all, stand. And we're all in this place of not knowing really what's next. But in hearing today that there's, like, all of these different, like, thoughts and opportunities. Honestly, one thing I felt like is it's, even if you don't do any of those possibilities, this whole thing of hope, which is a confident expectation of good, is what you are meant to have. And if just like realizing that there's so many great possibilities, that's awesome. But wait until there is really a going out with joy and being led forth with peace. I would love for us to get together, but I know we're going away. You guys are going away. The last thing I'd like to say when it comes to your house is when Danny co-signed, we had total confidence in God, and we still do. There's no pressure and no rush, because God just works everything for good. If we're meant to get something else, and then He can do it while we're co-signed. I mean, God is not limited at all, and we are not nervous. There is no pressure from us to like solve this second. I want to know, if you guys do choose to sell the house, that it is God's timing. He knows what the markets are going to do. He knows what your needs are. And just remember that there's no lack. So the most important thing to do is to look at what your needs are, your wants are. Don't let money make the decision for you ever, because you guys have seen that when you choose to just trust God, He comes through and He meets you. He meets the bills. So, you're way more important. Just don't forget that. You guys are way more important. Your family is way more important. You need to look at what you really need. If you're going to be doing Eden Abbey, and the time that it takes to do that, then you need to know that you are not putting yourself into a position that will be more stressful. So, little side note, I know there's all of these different things that you guys are considering and looking at and could get excited about, but just make sure that you don't try to jump into something which seems to really like free you and take the stress off for 3 weeks, and then makes life really stressful after that. I would rather find you guys a place to go and stay for a month and just be. And then to have you make decisions that, are going to have a lot of repercussions. Just don't jump before Holy Spirit shows you all the pieces, because I really honestly think in the next month there's going to be some major things like worldwide that are going to make things so much clearer for everyone, and we really just have to wait until we see that. So unless He's very clear, just be patient. We believe in you guys. The team that's being built, the vision, like the way it's going to impact and be effective. Like, there's people that maybe, like Danny and myself, that really like see this as a big deal that we will be a part of, but it may seem like, hey, they're just doing eye catchers or whatever, but when we have a space that we can just invite people, take them for coffee, go for a beer, and be in that space, it's just right. It's just for now. So, Don't grow weary in well-doing. Love you guys.